Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, and this is it. This is the video that you guys have finally been waiting for. Vonage's mobile app finally now has MMS capability, also known as Multimedia Messaging Service capability. So before I get into a hands-on demo here with the mobile app and I show you guys what it's capable of and kind of where we stand with the ability to send photos and videos and other media through Vonage's mobile app, let me give you guys just a quick kind of brief history of what we've seen in the industry up to this point and why this video is such a big deal. So previously in the past, as you guys may or may not know, or as you can imagine, I work with quite literally hundreds of different businesses all across the United States and some even in foreign countries like the United Kingdom and Canada to help them find the best business phone services and solutions for their organization. As you can imagine, in passing, I've talked to many hundreds of businesses that all need mobile apps. As you guys are probably aware, because of recent events in 2020 and also, things that we're still dealing with in current events in 2021, the need for businesses to be able to have access to tools such as mobile apps and desktop apps to be able to still communicate seamlessly with colleagues, coworkers, employees, and customers has become more important than ever. One of the big gaps, I guess you could say, in the industry has been, while mobile apps are useful and most all mainstream carriers or any legitimate carrier that you guys would see me talk about on our YouTube channel or website have had access to mobile app and desktop app, multimedia messaging capability has been something that has always been of a rarity. To put it into more definitive context, there have been many carriers out there who will not be named in this video that claim to do multimedia messaging, but it's always been what I like to call a dirty workaround, where they can't actually send you an image or a photo. They have to actually send you a link, and then you have to go out into a website and download it or something like that. It's just too many steps in between, what we call dirty workarounds. And the ones that didn't have a dirty workaround, in our experience, the only carrier that's ever been able to actually do it and do it well has been RingCentral. We work with a lot of businesses that need this ability, such as like real estate agents. There's been people that I've worked with in like car sales, boat sales, aircraft sales, things like that. You name it, just businesses where they not only need the mobile app like any normal business in this, new digital age we live in, but they need the ability to be able to send photos for whatever reason. And they don't want to have a disconnect where they've got to go send a photo in an email or send it by way of their regular phone, their regular cell phone, which obviously defeats the purpose of having a mobile app. So the only mainstream carrier, and we've talked about this in a previous video, which I'll tag, that's been able to do this, that's done this for a while, is RingCentral. So this is huge news from Vonage to be able to offer this capability. One last thing that I want to talk about before we jump into the actual demo and I show you guys, what it can and can't do and kind of where we stand with this is, basically, Vonage actually had given me some inside information in late December of 2020 saying, hey, Prince, multimedia messaging is coming, but we don't want to tell you when because we know all you're going to do is go and turn around and talk about it on YouTube, because they didn't want to, shoot themselves in the foot with a deadline. So before I get into this, just understand that I want to say this was released, I believe, like the week after Christmas. It is still in beta. So if you're a new Vonage customer or you are an existing Vonage customer, you can absolutely get this feature, but it's not active unless you contact Vonage, whether that be by phone or by their chat support, and give them your account number and say, hey, can you cut on the MMS capability for these extensions, for account number such and such. So before we jump into this, just understand this is by request only. It's still in beta. At the time of this video, this is January of 2021, and we have been told that it should be full release by maybe like the end of January, possibly like by the end of February, hopefully end of first quarter. That's what we think, is it'll be full release by end of first quarter, but don't quote me on that. That's a Vonage internal thing. So anyways, without further ado, let's jump into this. So I'm here in my Vonage mobile app. Let me find one here. Here is actually, we're not going to send anybody any messages. I don't want to do that because I don't want any, I mean, it's pretty late at night right now, so I don't want anybody to be like, what is he doing right now? But I'm going to show you guys the general concept of this. So here's a message here. This is somebody that actually messaged us like, a few weeks back, who we've already talked to, that basically said, hi, I'm inquiring about Vonage Business. Are we open today? I messaged him back a couple days after and basically said, hey, here's who we are. Nice to meet you, so on and so forth. If I wanted to send this person an image, it would work something like this. You would basically, once you have contacted Vonage and asked them to turn on the multimedia messaging capability, which is still in beta at the time of this video, you click here, and then you've got a couple of options here. You've got either one, which this allows you to basically, upload a video or whatever that may be from your actual file or photos or whatever, or you can actually, and my phone is actually sitting here next to me, so here we go, it's in selfie mode now. You can actually tell it to do selfie mode, and then it will basically allow you to take a picture of yourself or whatever it is that you're doing and send a video that way. So let's back out of that actually. So that gives you guys an idea of kind of how it works. There are a couple of quirks with it. Like, for example, this was we'll just throw a random image up here just for sakes. This was a photo of my wife and I on date night a week ago or whatever. So theoretically, I could just say something like, hey, here is a photo of me and the wife from date night. And then send that, done and done. And then this person would actually get that. Or as you already saw, I could switch to selfie mode and take a selfie if I, had a photo or something like that. I wanted to do like a real time, this is what I'm up to, or whatever that may be. Or, Mr. Bob, this is that car that I mentioned for the other day on the phone that's for sale in our lot for the price and specs that you're looking for, or that aircraft or that boat, or here's that house or whatever it may be that I was telling you about that's listed in a neighborhood not too far from you, or whatever. You guys get the point. But couple of things I want to talk about in regards to this, because there are a couple of quirks, and I'll show you them. That part, as you can see, actually works well. I've not had any issues with that, and I've tested that with a couple of actual clients, as well as some contacts that I have over at Vonage. We tested it back and forth thoroughly. The GIFs, for whatever reason, doesn't work. You can click it, and it pulls up the GIFs, but whenever I try to click one, say for instance this right here, it says Vonage noise. It's in Spanish. For those of you who may or may not know, I speak fluent Spanish, so my cell phone is set to Spanish and English because I've got friends in the United States as well as abroad. So basically, what that's saying there, Vonage no es compatible con la inserción de imágenes aquí. That basically means Vonage is not compatible with inserting GIFs or GIFs or however you guys pronounce it. I call it GIFs, but I know millennials and Zen Gears or whatever they call it, Zen Wires, they call it, something else. But but anywho, I don't know. It's still in beta. My guess is that eventually this will basically be changed, but it is what it is for now. I'm assuming once it is full release, that will work, but you can't send GIFs for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. But photos and selfies directly seems to work just fine. I had somebody that, because I had a few customers that I worked with in November and December, because we've known since, I want to say September, that MMS was coming. The only reason we haven't done a video of it is because I just didn't want to get you guys hopes up until we knew for sure that Vonage was going to stick to the deadline, which it looks like they have. It was supposed to be out in December, they kept telling me, before end of 2020, and they actually did pull it off. Kudos to them, but it's still in beta. So I don't, we honestly think that it'll be full release before the end of first quarter, probably before the end of February or March for sure. What else did I want to say in regards to this? There's only a couple of things here, a couple of notable things that I noticed. Number one, which I already mentioned, GIFs don't seem to work at all. Number two, there is a limit. I've gotten some calls from some folks that have been like, oh, well, can I send like 1 gigabyte video introductions to people, to job, to human resource recruiters and things like that. You cannot do that. I want to say that Vonage's limitation on the file size for attachments, whether it be a video or a image like a photo or a GIF in the future, I want to say it's 2 megabytes. It's either 2 megabytes or it's 2.2 megabytes. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. You're probably thinking, wow, Prince, that's really small. Actually, no, that's not, because I actually checked with a couple other carriers, and most of them are all around about 2 megabytes. I don't want to put any names out there, but there are some that I think go as high as 5 megabytes. But even then, let's be real, you're not going to be able to send a big video introduction or anything like that to anybody. That's going to be like a voice introduction, maybe, if you record like a voice introduction. That's something that I would actually love to see in this app as they develop it and bring it to full release. And, you know, being Vonage and them being one of the more bigger and innovative players in the market, I expect even after its full release, them to add other features into this as time progresses. What I'd like to see is maybe a larger file size capability, like maybe 5 megabytes. I definitely like to see GIF or GIF, however you guys want to pronounce that. I call it GIF, but I'd very much like to see GIF support, because that's a thing that everybody's come to know and love. But, you know, from everything from social media to the memes and stuff like that, I can't imagine that they're not going to support that as time progresses, since that capability is in there when you go into the app. And I'd like to be able to see some kind of like a voice thing where if I didn't want to send somebody a text, I could just actually hit record, kind of like how things work with like a WhatsApp or like a Google Voice. You can just hold down a button and hit record and actually leave maybe like up to a 1 minute, like, you know, hey, I'm on the way, or hey, you know, I'm going to have to move our appointment. Let me know what you've got for next week, or something like that. So that's pretty much the end of this video. Again, this is great news. I can honestly say that I'm actually really impressed, thrilled, and I'm really proud of Vonage for pulling this off. This is a great move for them because, again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, for those of you who may not know, the only legitimate mainstream carrier that we know of and that you guys have seen us talk about a lot on our channel that has offered true MMS in their mobile app is RingCentral. So I'm curious to see how this stirs up things for not only RingCentral, but also the market in general. We think this is a brilliant move and a great feature add on Vonage's part. Again, I'm hoping that they improve on some of the things that I just showed you guys. And that is pretty much that. Actually, before we go, let me see if I can find one message where a friend of mine over at Vonage actually sent me a legitimate, let's see here, a legitimate actual photo before you guys go, because I didn't show you much, but here we go. Here we go. Guy that I know over at Vonage, he had basically kept telling me, hey, I've activated your account with the beta. Once it's working, you'll be able to see it. I'm assuming that's like his backyard or something, maybe, or his neighborhood where he's taking this photo. But you can clearly see, you know. And then I said, hey, is this Alex? I got an image from you. Sure is. And I said, so is this still beta? And he's basically telling me, you know, yes, this is. It's working. Looks like your account is next on my list for MMS access. I'll let you know when it's done, which is what he sent me. So remember, before we conclude this video, it's still in beta. Should be out of full release, hopefully before the end of sometime between now and first quarter, the end of March 2021. But it's not automatically working for existing or new customers until it becomes full release. You have to actually contact Vonage, whether that be by phone or through their chat support. Tell them what your account number is. Let them know that you would like to turn on the multimedia messaging, also called MMS beta. I think you have to turn it on individually for each extension. So you'll have to let them know what extensions or users you want to cut on for. And then supposedly it takes like around like 24 to 48 hours. It's active and then you can use it. So again, big news. Really proud of Vonage for releasing this. If you're watching this video and you're interested in learning more about Vonage Business's platform, or you'd like to get a quote with special pricing, for those of you who may or may not know, I can get you better pricing than if you shop Vonage direct, and my service is free, so it's in your best interest. You can't lose to shop Vonage and also, you know, seek more information or maybe a coordinated demo through me. Prince Rich. Oh, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. We upload new videos every single week. Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, your go-to guy for the best deals on business, phone, and internet service in the United States. I'll catch you guys again in the next video.